and put in a new bearing, and it's starting to multiply as most projects do. By the way, you can see my work I did on some fiberglassing right there, in a very sore spot for the 123 body underneath the battery. The battery is sitting right there. The battery would sit right in like there, and underneath the battery tray it rusts out often, so that's a repair, and I got it marked 12/18/06, 72 degrees exclamation mark, because it was quite a warm day for December. So there's the engine. Got the air filter off to give me room to work in there, and had to remove some of the plumbing for the heating to get at the exhaust. We're underneath the car now, and you're looking up forward. That's the transmission, and I guess that's the transmission bracket. I've already unbolted it, but I haven't removed it yet because I don't have the transmission or the engine jacked up. The shaft, the propeller shaft as they call it, is bolted on with a flex plate. And I think I'm going to have to take off this bracket here to get enough room to swing a wrench on those bolts. I moved back a little bit, and that's looking up at the center bearing on the propeller shaft. There's a big nut in there, which I thought I was going to have trouble with, but it loosened quite easily, and then you push the propeller shaft back to give it clearance to drop that away. So it should be, I hope it's going to be easy. I've loosened a couple of the bolts already up there, and I got a couple more to break free. This is the trailing arm on the Mercedes, which is part of the rear suspension, and as you can see, it's rusted through. That kind of limits how much I'm going to put into this car. Unless I can repair that, I'm driving something that's fairly limited, because when that breaks, you don't have any rear suspension. So while I got this thing all up and everything, I might make an attempt to do some welds on that. That'll be a whole video on its own. If I can figure out how to do that, I could really extend the life of these cars. That's the opposite side's trailing arm, and you can see how it kind of supports the wheel. The spring comes down in the center of it, and then this part here attaches to the frame, and down there is the wheel, so it kind of goes up and down. Gives you a nice smooth ride.